Hey, welcome to Revenue Revealed, the show where I show you exactly how much I make on Inside Timer and how you can do the same. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably a little bit late to the party because this, of course, goes out first in my school community, which is what you see in the background, called the Downward Dogs. There'll be a link below this video if you want to come join us. So if you want a community of people that can help you out pretty quickly with problems, then, come join us. We also discuss things like how to increase pay. Where are the other places? For instance, I've been asking about Aura recently. That's there. And you can see there's a lot of discussion about that. So if you want just a supportive place where you can do better with your meditations and learn the business of meditation teaching, come check me out there. For now, let's get into Revenue Revealed. I got a double whammy for you because I didn't do January. I've been working back on stunts. I've been working on a big superhero movie about, I can't say really, but needless to say, I've not been able to do this. But here I am, doing a double for you, and it's going to be much quicker than before. Just to recap on what's happened on Inside Timer, you don't get paid for comments anymore. They did give you a little bonus for those of us that were negatively affected. I was one of them. So I was getting like $400, $500 bonus to make up for the difference. That's all gone now. And come December, I knew the writing was on the wall. So here's December. That's all of last year. I'm just going to hide that. So just so you know what you're looking at here, this was kind of the year in review. As you can see here, December, I slowly ratcheted up. But you can see here, June, where we're doing 4,000 because the comments were really pouring in. And then the comments went away. And then they started changing the model. You now get a revenue, a return rate bonus, which is what I was getting here. And that's going to be very interesting in today's session. As you see here, the numbers dropped off. We went about half, but that's pretty good considering there was no comments anymore. And we finished the year off with 2,175. Now, I tell all of my students in the school community and in general, if you don't do something for New Year's, you are dropping the ball. It is the prime time to earn money on Inside Timer, and we're going to see exactly how well that does right here. So let's go with January 1st, the bottom of your screen there. So this row here. So first off, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. No, you know what, I'll stay big. We had 2,286 listens, the free stuff. I've started making a bit more free things. As you can see, it's not actually increased the listenership that much. And for the 2,000, I get $19.16. This clever spreadsheet then works out exactly how much money, or rather how many plays I need to get $1. You can see here it's around 119 plays to get $1. But then you get a revenue from the return rate, and that gives me another $3. And then if you add those two together, your pay rate then is for every 100 listens you get around $1. So that was for January. This is the one you want to see. That's why I put it in red. 10,626 listens on my course. 10,000. That is a monster. And we'll jump into my profile in a second just so you can kind of get an idea of how that was done and what we did. I don't want to show you too much there. There you go. So for that, I got 1,353. So again, the ratio there is around 8. I have to get 8 listens of my course before I get $1. But then the return rate was 1,286. Massive, almost the same money again for the return rate, which is how often people come back to your content the next day. And this is where it gets super interesting about how you work out how best to use your time, because we all have limited time. The adjusted return rate then goes to 403, so roughly 4 listens to get $1. That's really good. I'm trying so hard to show you the second row here. Donations, also very generous time, January, 165 in donations, which probably is due to the fact that I've done some more free stuff in there. Premium plays, we are up this month, 3,508. Again, January is a busy month. That gives you 447. Again, around 7 or around 8 rather listens to get $1. Then the return rate on the individual tracks, not so good. So we have almost a full play more before you get your money for the return rate. So that number's much lower, much lower. It's hard because the return rate, they don't really show you how it's worked out. But I've got some suspicions about things which I'll share with you. But overall, January brought in 3,552. So another bumper month. And if you look further up here, it may have changed somewhat. My January, there you go, January, 4,081 last year. And that's because we had, of course, comments. Keep in mind, I have no comments on this. That was my main earner. Comments on this would have pushed this up to around $6,000. So just as well I got rid of them. So that was January. So what did I do in January? Well, let's just look at February first, and then we can go from there. So now I'm going to show you a bit more of everything. So I'll get myself down here. I'll bring this to the top of the screen. So January, there you go. February, very similar prices, very similar numbers all the way through here. Slightly better adjusted ratio. The course plays drop off when it comes to February. So it's almost a half drop off. And so that's reflected in the price. But again, a better return rate. I don't know if that's because less people made stuff that month, because you're always competing with other teachers. And then what do we have here? Similar kind of thing. Slight drop off on return rate and ratio. Drops by about 1. But listenership, donations really went down, which is fine because they're just such a bonus anyway. And then the premium plays, we reduced those quite a lot too. And then the total we got was 2,384. So we're almost at 6,000 for the year coming into February. Now, if you're thinking, how are you doing all this? Well, you just got to understand the context first. I have almost 6,000 followers now. And, I've been on here for a couple of years. My total plays are pretty high. But let's look at those courses, especially the one that brought in the money, okay? Now, in the New Year's, I'm letting you in on a trick here. 30 Days to the Best Year of Your Life was what I did last year, I think. Was that right? And I have to double check this. I'm sure I had a New Year's one last year. 30 Days to the Best Year of Your Life. Yes, that's right. That was last year. That's the one that brought in 4,000. That one did pretty well. The newer one is, it's strange that it's not here. Well, let's see anyway what that looks like for January. Yeah, there you go. Weekly, you can see here if I get me out the way. January, massive listenership each week. So January is a big month for these things, but it's kind of continued through. I didn't write New Year's because I also want people to listen to it after the New Year, so that's why I didn't put that in. I'm trying to think what my course was last year. This is quite the conundrum. Be a brother. You can see all of my courses here, by the way. I've done a lot. So some decent words around Christmas. I feel like they're not showing all of my... 1 second. Yep, totally forgot. Again, I didn't type it as New Year's. It was start your year like a stoic. And as you can see here, again, if we go for weekly, this was more specific to New Year's. So go weekly, you can see here, much bigger. Whereas 30 Days to the Best Year of Your Life was 250 a week. This one, I really dug into the stoic thing. And you can see even the lowest amount in that time, if it will show me this, was way higher than that. And what you're seeing here is a combination of two things. A combination of good timing with the fact that New Year's, people are way more inclined to do stuff. And stoicism's become the thing I'm known for on Inside Timer. I've really positioned myself as that. So if you're going to do a course, try bring those two things together. Have a theme of a special time in the year, and then also have a theme of what you are known for. if you go back to my courses, you'll notice there is a lot on Stoicism here, and I've kind of hit it on Stoicism. So if you look here, Stoicism, 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 Stoicism. So I've hit on something then. My premium tracks are all Stoic stuff. So that is what I've been doing, really digging into that. As you can see, I'm also using certain times of the year to try to promote my stuff. You just have to be careful. Something like Surviving Christmas, no one's listening to that from January to November. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been making my money. Just so you know, Inside Time is also changing. They've got some new payment ways coming out, or new ways for us to make revenue as teachers. And we'll be discussing that in my school group. So if you have any questions, go across there. You can ask me in the comment section, or you're better off in the community. That's where I answer most of my questions. I hope that's been helpful. I hope you have a great year. And just so we're all above board, I always forget to do this, because some people are like, oh yeah, I don't think you actually make that much. Here is the views. So as you can see, that was February, and then this was January. Oh, my internet is breaking up there. Here you go, January 3,552.70. There you go. All right, take care. See you soon.